Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Thursday, 1st of August 2024. Globally, August 1st is celebrated as Worldwide Web Day, dedicated to recognizing and honoring Tim Berners-Lee, credited with founding the Internet. This day is marked as the inception of the contemporary Internet. The World Wide Web, according to Wikipedia, is an information system that enables connected sharing over the internet through user-friendly ways meant to appeal to the users beyond IT specialists and hobbyists. It allows documents and other web resources to be accessed over the internet according to specific rules of the Hypertext Transfer Protocol (HTTP). From the history point of view, on the 1st of August, the non-cooperation movement was launched by the Indian National Congress led by Mahatma Gandhi. In 1920, it was a turning point in the history of the struggle for independence in India. The non-cooperation movement was an important part of the freedom struggle and hence is important for the IAS exam. Starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper The Hindu states that India-China hold the 30th round of the border talks. Tabletop miniature of flags for India and China at a meeting table for the diplomatic discussions and negotiations. Restoration of peace and tranquility and respect for the line of actual control are an essential basis for restoration of the normalcy in the bilateral relations. The Ministry of External Affairs said in a statement, India and China on Wednesday held the 30th meeting of the Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination of India-China Borders Affairs (WMCC) in New Delhi, during which the discussions was in the depth, constructive and forward-looking, and both sides agreed to maintain the momentum through established diplomatic and military channels. The Ministry of the External Affairs Minister said the talks come amid indications that the two countries are making efforts to resolve the standoff along the line of actual control in the eastern Ladakh. Parliament session live update is proceedings to begin in both the houses at 11 a.m. Leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, at the Parliament House during the monsoon session in New Delhi on 31st of July 2024. Congress MP submits a privilege motion, notes against the Prime Minister. BJP says Rahul is always asking about others' caste. The first day of the first budget session of the 18th Lok Sabha kicked off in a parliament on July 22. The session is scheduled to have 16 sittings and is likely to conclude on August 12. The finance minister presented her seventh straight budget on July 23 for the fiscal 2024-25, surpassing the record of the former Prime Minister Morarji Desai. The Congress has alleged discrimination with the opposition rules states in the union budget presently by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and said her speech mentioned projects for only two states. The Lok Sabha on July 31st took up a discussion on the demands and grants for the Ministry of Railways under Union Budget 2024. A Congress MP Charanjit Singh Chennai submitted a notice on a breach of privilege against Prime Minister Narendra Modi for sharing Anurag Thakur's speech on X, which was expunged from the House records. Wayanad landslide is live. Toll crosses 200. Rahul Priyanka on their way to visit the relief camps. As many as 191 persons were reported missing. Harsh terrain came in the way of rescue efforts by personnel of various forces. 1,592 persons were rescued from the ravaged sites in 2 days and moved to various hospitals. 99 persons are under treatment. People who were stranded at Atamala after a massive landslide at Churamala in Wayanad crossed the temporary bridge to the safety on the July 31st, 2024. Rescue operations will continue on Thursday as the death toll in the landslides that devastated Churamala and Modakeri areas near the Mepa, the Wayanad district of Kerala, crossed 200. Personnel of the Army Defense Security Corps, DSC, National Disaster Response Fund, and National Disaster Response Force, NDRF, and the Forest and the Fire and Rescue Services picked through the debris strewn across the affected areas with the support of the volunteers and rescue equipment, including the earth movers. Extremely heavy rain triggered the landslides in the hilly areas of Wayanad early on Tuesday, leaving at least 167 people dead and more than 200 injured. Another 191 people were missing. The Kerala government has opened two control rooms to attend to distress calls from citizens. Here are the two numbers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced an ex gratia payment of rupees 2 lakh for the next of kin of the deceased and 50,000 as a compensation for injured. Union Minister Nityanand Rai in Rajya Sabha said 145 crore rupees was disbursed for Kerala from the state disaster response fund. Morning register when and the death toll crosses 200. A heavy rain brings Delhi to its knees. Schools closed today and more. On the move, volunteers engaged in a rescue operation searching for the bodies at landslides at Churalmala in Vayanad on Wednesday. Haniya killing. India maintains silence. Hamas chief Ismail Haniya. Nitin Gadkari returned after attending swearing in the ceremony of Iranian president in Tehran. India maintained a steady silence a day after the political head of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, was killed in Tehran in an early morning incident on Wednesday. Sources here indicated that the issue is sensitive because of India's close relations with both Iran and Israel, and also because Iranian authorities are yet to reveal details of the incident and that led to the death of Mr. Haniyeh. Now, going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that Black or Indian Donald Trump launched a racially insensitive attack on Kamala Harris. Vice President Kamala Harris has accepted an invitation from CBS News to debate from former President Donald Trump vice presidential pick this summer. Donald Trump has stirred up controversy with a racially charged comment about Kamala Harris, stating she happened to turn back a few years ago. The comments were made during a gathering of black journalists in Chicago and soon went viral on social media, with people criticizing the former president for his racially insensitive attack on his opponent. During the event, an interviewer asked if he agreed with some Republicans who have called Kamala Harris the die-hard. In response, Trump questioned her racial background, asking Black or Indian. Trump questions Kamala Harris' racial identity. I did not know she was black until a number of years ago, when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black, the Republican presidential nominee said at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention in Chicago on Wednesday, as reported by CNN. Coaching centers of Delhi, the ecosystem that feeds on aspiration. People walk past boards of coaching centers in Lakshmi Nagar. A rectory staircase led down to a cramped room within the basement of this four-story building in the South Delhi's Kalu Sarai. Nearly a dozen students are attending in a class in a room with no windows, preparing for their IIT JEE exams. The houses in this lane are so cramped that even sunlight barely makes it through the narrow gaps between the buildings. Low-hanging electricity wires hover barely a few inches above the heads of the pedestrians packed into the lanes. Extreme rain cripples Delhi again. Extremely intense rainfall paralyzed the capital once again as a sudden bout of downpour on Wednesday evening, accompanied by lightning and gusty winds, led to flooded streets and widespread chaos. Commuters waded through the waterlogged Tilak Bridge on Wednesday. Paris 2024 fightings to white out of for mistakes. New Delhi after a medal-less Wednesday, India will be in with a chance to clinch another when Swapnil Kasel starts shooting at the National Shooting Center in Chhatrapati on a Thursday. Indian race walkers will be also in action, but in a podium finish may be out of their reach. Shooter Swapnil Kasel. Going towards the economy of the country from the banking and finance point of view, bank credit growth rate declines, gold loans rise 30.5%, credit and outstanding rises by rupees 51,000 crore. The growth in credit card outstanding meanwhile declined during the 12-month period. An unfavorable base effect brought down the overall non-food credit growth of the banks to 13.9% at rupees 163.46 lakh crore as of June of 2024 as against 16.3% in June 2023, even as gold and housing loans rose sharply according to the Reserve Bank of India latest data. Analysts have attributed the slower rate of the Reserve Bank of India measures such as higher risk weights on the unsecured loans, a higher base effect, and banks focus on managing the credit to deposit ratio. Ransomware attack disrupts at least 150 to 200 cooperative banks (RRBs). The attack has likely impacted 150 to 200 cooperative banks and RRBs. The National Payment Corporation of India (NPCI) on Wednesday said that the CH Technologies Limited, a technology service provider who caters mostly to cooperative banks and regional rural banks (RRBs), has been possibly impacted by a ransom attack. Customers of the bank service by CH will not be able to access payment statement systems during the period of isolation. NPCI, the umbrella organization for operating retail payments and settlement systems in the country, said. Infosys slapped with the rupees 32,403 crore GST demand notice, says it has paid all dues. Bangalore-based Infosys in a stock exchange filing Wednesday called the missive from the tax department a pre-show cause notes and said it believes the GSTs are not applicable on the expenses in contention. The Directorate General of GST Intelligence (DGGI) has slapped rupees 32,403 crore notes on Infosys for service available by the company from its overseas branch over a 5-year period starting in 2017. In its notice, the GST probe has invoked a reverse charge mechanism, where the recipient of goods service assumes the responsibility of tax payment instead of the seller. Going towards the world news, including Donald Trump questions Kamala Harris's mixed race identity. Is she Indian or black? Watch hours before Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh was killed, he visited a theme park exhibition. New United Kingdom parliamentary group for India to promote bilateral ties. Germany's renamed Swift region for Taylor Swift concerts gets 1,400 bids for the site. From the Iran's vow to avenge to United States stating its non-involvement, have already reacted to Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh's assassination. Paris Olympics 2024 France President Macron and sports ministers intimate photo sparks a public outcry. Now going to the science and tech, we have collapse of coal mining in Britain has lessons for India analysis. Workers at an open cast coal mine in Charia and outskirts of Tanban in Jharkhand. A new paper shows that even in a formalized economy like the United Kingdom, miners never fully recovered from the decline of coal mining. At the conference of Party 26 climate talks in Glasgow, countries around the world, including India, reached a historic decision to phase down coal power. A less famous decision they made was to support a just transition away from the coal power. In some countries, this transition has already happened, and India could learn important lessons from them since its own future transition could easily turn sour. Zombies in our genes help us evolve and could help battle cancers. It is typically not possible for a person to inherit retrovirus infections because they are usually damage only a subset of cells. But such genome invasions can sometimes mess up the integration process, creating a zombie regions in the host's genome. Most viruses can't really affect the genome, but retroviruses buck their trend. They can integrate and reshape the genomes of the hosts they interact. Viruses are ubiquitous entities that have long plagued humans, often presenting in best case self-limiting infections like a bout of the common cold, while most viral encounters are transient and merely inconvenient. Some can have devastating or chronic consequences, leading to several diseases or even death. With the recent COVID-19 pandemic and other emerging infections, diseases around us are good examples. Early detection of lung cancer can save lives. Lung cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer and the leading cause of the cancer-related deaths globally. Despite having a considerable burden of lung cancer, India does not yet have a systematic lung cancer screening program. The insidious nature of lung cancer has made it one of the most formidable public health challenges of our time. Lung cancer was first discovered in the early 1900s in later advances in the imaging technologies, bronchoscopy, and molecular diagnostics help diagnose it more frequently and reliably in the 20th century. As we confront this growing epidemic on August 1st, observed as the World Lung Cancer Day, understanding the multifaceted aspects of lung cancer from its risk factors to the critical importance of the early detection becomes the paramount. The global struggle for a pandemic treaty, the most contentious issue in the pandemic agreement negotiations, has been the pathogen access and benefit sharing (PABS) system in Article 12, often seen as the heart of the agreement. The world must strive to overcome the obstacles as the treaty is a blueprint for the more equitable and resilient good health system. After the great fanfare and over 2 years of the political negotiations, the 1994 World Health Organization member states failed to finalize a historic pandemic agreement, an international treaty designed to fortify global pandemic preparedness, implement mechanisms for prevention of the same, and reduce the conscionable inequities that were painfully obvious during the COVID-19 pandemic. Artificial intelligence needs cultural policies, not just regulations. Alongside the computing power and algorithm innovations, data are arguably our most important driver of progress in the field. Only by giving fair and wide access to data can artificial intelligence's full potential be realized and its benefits distributed equitably. The future of the artificial intelligence will not be secured by regulation alone. To ensure safe and trustworthy artificial intelligence for all, we must balance regulation with the policies which promote high quality data as a public good. This approach is crucial for fostering transparency, creating a level playing field, and building public trust. Only by giving fair and wide access to data can we realize artificial intelligence's full potential and distribute its benefits equitably. At last, there is a famous quotation said by a famous President Abraham Lincoln, whose birth anniversary is on 12 February 1809. After 15 April 1865, was an American lawyer, politician, and statesman who served as the 16th President of the United States from 1861 until his assassination in 1865. Lincoln led the United States through the American Civil War, defending the nation as the constitutional union, defeating the insurgent Confederacy, and playing a major role in the abolition of slavery, expanding the power of the federal government, and modernizing the United States economy. Lincoln is remembered as a martyr and a national hero for his wartime leadership and for his efforts to preserve the Union and abolish slavery. Lincoln is often ranked in both the popular and scholarly polls as the greatest president in the American history. Abraham Lincoln. He says a famous quotation says that nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Abraham Lincoln also says that a leader is somebody that can lift others into their better selves. He also says that those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves. Okay, thank you.